Getting ready to go live.
Maybe not.
Ready to go live, baby. Getting coffeeed up.
You're on.
All right, agents. Hey, Agent Sean here, and we're going to be talking today about what kind of savage mentality you need to have to make this business work and to survive this business. Because I talk to a lot of agents because I partner up with agents all over the country, and they actually partner with us through my brokerage. So if you ever want to learn more about that, you can always check in the links below. Usually we'll have a website where you can book me for a quick chat. But I do see a lot of agents, and we've been in the business now since 2006, so about 15 or 16 years. And, you know, the market's always going to do what it's going to do. It's going to go up and down. And even this year, 2021, it was very challenging because there was a lack of inventory, and it took a lot of work just to get one buyer through. And a lot of agents went hungry, right? And so in this video, I want to talk to you guys about a few stories that what I had to do to survive, and some examples that the kind of mentality that I needed to have in order to get through this thing. Then I want to talk to you guys about what I see the agents that, what I kind of call it is like a kind of like a fast food mentality, right? And I'm sure you've heard about how these people in today's market, just younger people, and I think older people as well, have a real soft mentality. So starting off, my wife got started in real estate. Her name's Blanca, and you can follow her at Blanca's World. And she got started in 2006. She got licensed. She went in full time. She was a young mother. We currently had one kid, and then shortly after that, she got pregnant in 2007 with our second kid. I was working at Geek Squad Best Buy, and I was doing high-end home theater installations full time. Working 4 or 5 days a week. And I helped her out when I could after I got off my shifts and stuff. But I was making like under $35,000 a year. So 2006, the economy goes down in 2007, 2008. We're a young family struggling, and she's doing real estate, and she's pretty much just doing short sales because in our market, for whatever reason, a lot of people called her for short sales. And so it was super tight. Like a lot of times we had to go sell stuff. I remember we sold our TV. And then what I did, instead of just getting paid my hourly wage at Best Buy, I opened up my own company on the side, and I started doing side jobs for home theater. And I would do them on the weekends, and I would advertise on Craigslist. And so that was a lot of fun because what you got on Craigslist is people trying to get the cheapest deal possible, right? And then, we went through, we probably only did like 10 or 12 sales our first year. We probably did about 18, maybe 15 or 18 our second year. And then we got a builder who decided to build a custom home, and we got that as a listing. And he was hurting. The market was horrible. We were competing with Pulte, and he had to try to cut corners to make this happen. So he was gonna build a 5,500 square foot home, luxury home, in the upper bracket with no speaker wire, no Cat 5, nothing was gonna be in the home, like as far as technology. And I'm thinking to myself, you can't do this, okay? He's like, Sean, but I don't have the money. And so I negotiated, because he was looking at other agents, right? I tried to win the listing by negotiating that I would do the pre-wire for his house. So I was gonna put in Cat 5 Ethernet cables for internet, and home theater cables, and coax for cable. All over, this is a 5,500 square foot home. Now, of course, Murphy's Law is that it happened to be pre-wired in January in Minnesota. So the time that I needed to pre-wire this house was in January, and the temperatures were literally 30 degrees below zero. What can you do? I can't just say, well, it's too cold, I'm just gonna wait 3 weeks. No, sheetrock was going in, I needed to get the wires in, and I agreed to do it. So I spent the next week after my shift, after working 10 hours, I would go to this house in the dark with a headlamp, with my wire and a ladder, and I pre-wired a 5,500 square foot house in the dark by myself. It took me about a week, and it was like probably the most difficult thing I've ever done in real estate was to do that job. The thing is, the guy who bought that house was ecstatic because this house had 2 home theaters pre-wired. And then what I had to do is I had to agree to install those for the new buyer. And we got the deal closed. My builder pretty much went out of business. He lost money on the deal. But that was the first huge, what I would call grit, right? The time where I really had to dig down and figure out, like, how bad do I want this? Guys, I see none of that in today's market, by the way. I see that agents want a lead handed to them with a guarantee note that it's going to close, or else they're not really wanting to show up. And I'm just letting you know right now that you guys have got to figure out, you got to dig down, figure out like how bad you want this in this business. Because I've got people that I talk to who are afraid to quit their little job, who are afraid to go in this thing full time. And really, I don't feel bad for you guys because this business isn't made for everyone to be successful. This is only for people who want to dig down and do this thing and have grit. I remember in the same time frame, so, Blanca and I were working. I was part-time. She was full-time. I was doing side jobs. We had our 2 kids at home. We didn't even have a babysitter because we couldn't afford it. And also, like, there was times where we were so broke. I remember coming home one day from Best Buy, and I put like 75 cents in the gas tank just to make it home. And that's how broke we were. I sold my gun. I sold the TV. We sold crap that we had laying around the house. And luckily, we never missed a payment on the house because a lot of people were losing their homes in those days. And so, what else can I tell you? Oh, things like this too. I had an investor who gave us all of his listings. And one night, I got a call from an agent. Hey, I just showed the house. It's like 7 p.m. in the middle of January again. The heat's out. The house is going to freeze. I went down to my basement. I grabbed my space heater. I drove, 25 minutes across town in the middle of the night. I think I ended up able to go at 11 o'clock p.m. Put the space heater downstairs, heated his house, let the guy know it was okay. Do you think he hired me again? Yes. Him and I did like 20 deals together. And so that's kind of what I'm talking about. That's customer service, and that's just going the extra mile. Did I have to do that? No. It was my responsibility to do that? No. It was his responsibility, but I did it because I took care of it. It was my listing. So that's another example. I remember Blanca would drive across town just to get signatures. Now, all we do is send a little e-signature. We had to put 30,000 miles on the car every year because we were driving around getting manual signatures because stupid banks would only accept ink signatures. Talk about a nightmare. The files were this thick of pure paperwork, and she had to fax them with 55 pages through the fax machine every time. And so it's sad because a lot of you agents don't know how crappy it was, so that you don't really get what we had to go through. And so now, when we see you guys, it's just, I'm gonna eat your lunch. Unless you want to join us. I remember this week alone, I took a buyer away from another agent. We were interviewing for the agent. The buyer had ran around town and showed him a bunch of homes, but she didn't get the contract signed. Blanca and I swooped in, took it away, $18,000 commission. Didn't lose a wink of sleep over that. Because you know why? That agent was too lazy to write up the contract, to sit down and explain it, and get him signed up. So, sorry about that. But anyway, what can you guys do to not fall into this lazy, soft, pathetic mentality trap that I see most agents in? I don't know. Join a marathon club. Go get a personal trainer. Go sign up for those Tough Mudder. Do something that puts you in an uncomfortable situation, because I don't know what else to tell you, because the world just is easy. The world just laying out the easy life for everyone pretty much. And it's almost like I can't blame you for it, but you're going to have to snap out of it. And if you want some of the attitude from us to rub off on you, we're not afraid to connect with new agents anytime. If I see that you're soft, I will probably call you on it, but don't worry, I'm actually a pretty nice guy. So guys, that's it. I don't know what else I was going to talk about. I don't want to harp and rant on you guys too much because I don't know you. But if you think you've been being soft, you probably know it. And maybe put in the comments what you're going to do about it, and so you can change what you're doing. All right, guys, check out some of the other videos on my channel that might be helpful, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Agent Sean with Agent Code.